Wow. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Quentin King, welcome.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for being here. And hello, everybody. I'm Paul. We're at Music Villa, downtown Bozeman, Montana. And, you know, I just did a little interview with Bob Taylor, and we talked about his new legacy models. And so they're launching these, and so we're going to get it prepared and ready to go. What a cool thing. Where do we even begin with these?
I don't know.
Are you familiar with any of these models? Do you remember those days?
Particularly.
Okay, so when I was working in the old store, way down there, Jerry had one. You know, remember Jerry worked there?
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of people had them, and Musicville was selling them. Even before that, Larry Barnwell was a Taylor dealer way back.
Really?
In the late...
I did not. Let's explain who Larry Barnwell is. Let's also explain who Jerry is. So Jerry worked
Jerry's
here
our
for
old
years.
repair tech, yeah.
I repair tech, and he ran sound, played in local bands. Great guy.
Yeah.
And then Larry Barnwell, who I've only known as the Martin rep.
Yeah.
I had no idea that he was once.
Yeah, he was a
Taylor
Martin rep, then a Gibson rep, and before that he owned a store in Bozeman.
Oh, wow.
Called the Back Porch Pick and Parlor.
Oh, there you go.
And before that, Steve Carlson owned it. And Steve Carlson has been around for a long time as
this
well.
This is like local Bozeman history,
Yeah.
but Larry Barnwell's like a fixture in the acoustic and bluegrass community here in Bozeman.
He sure is.
And perhaps through...
And he was a Taylor dealer, so in the late 80s, I believe. And then Music Villa was a Taylor dealer in late 80s. Larry was probably a dealer in the late 70s, became probably the first Taylor dealer.
Wow.
So anyways, when I got back to town and was working in the old store in the 96, everyone had a Taylor.
Yeah.
You know, it was a very new, cool thing. And so we were all excited about all the models, but the one that we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about a couple of them, is the 12-string, which kind of was a, you know, they bought Taylor in, what, the 70s, 74, I think. So I think this model was already, this shape was made when they bought the facility that they bought, and then they started doing Taylor guitars. So they started with this body shape, and of course kind of did a take on a mustache bridge. But this 12-string kind of changed the world of 12 strings because it plays so good, they sound so good. Neil Young took one out on tour. There was a bunch of people who played the 12 strings, Taylor 12 strings, Leo Kottke. So it really kind of took off and kind of made Taylor
really put them on the map as far as players.
Yeah, you know. And then later, some of these other models put them on the map too, you know, 10 years later. So great guitars. Gosh, just listening to you play it.
Yeah. Well, it does play well. And I remember, again, I was, you know, I'm slightly younger than you, so, you know, all this yesteryear stuff, you know, I'm just, you know, I was just a kid then.
I know.
But what I do remember,
I remember you back in, when you first moved to Bozeman. I remember you coming in.
I was a grown-up
You were
back
a young
then.
kid.
But what I remember is Taylor kind of came on and it was playable, right?
Yes.
It was just so consistently playable, and that legacy and characteristic has, you know, transcended the decades since. But this is, I think, just a reflection of that playability. Now, I'm gonna confess, I've tuned this down to E flat. It's not fully tuned up, so the strings are a little bit more pliable. It does make it more.
That's nice.
But I just mostly because I was lazy, and I think the first string was already down to E flat,
and
so I just
stuck with it.
I tuned it, but
that's all right. Sounds great.
It really is far more playable than a typical 12-string. I've talked about my love affair with the 9 strings. Yeah. Because they're just easier to play. Yeah. But every once in a while you come across 12-string that really is workable. Yeah. And I'm just so lazy, and I guess my hands are weak. But but this one sounds good. Just, I don't know. You play enough 12 strings and you're like, nah, some really shine, some are a little tougher to work with, and probably the reason why most folks are like, I don't want to invest the effort to play them. This is one of the ones where you you pick it up and you play it and you're like, oh my gosh, maybe I really do love 12 strings after all.
It's funny too, isn't it? Also, like I can't even say I know much about 12 strings historically, or or who played them. I think John Denver played one of these too. But my point is, when I hear a J45 or a kind of a famous old Martin, to me now this one's like all of a sudden I'm listening to this 12 string, I'm like, that sounds like something. I don't know if I'm remembering from the old days.
You're saying it's got the iconic.
It's got an iconic 12 string sound. Because really, if you think about it, what other...
If I can find a chord.
Is there any other 12 strings that are iconic? I mean, there's a D28.
I was just thinking here while we're talking, like, when did the 12 string come about as a thing? I mean, there have been double stringed instruments for a long time, mandolins and all kinds of. But like, when did the 12 string guitar become a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, if you're out there and you have that information, please drop a comment.
But it sounds like, in the late 70s, this thing kind of hit the map.
It takes me a second for my fingers to figure out where they're supposed to be, right? Because I'm not used to it's slightly wider and then
so like 1 7/8.
Figuring it out, but it's very, very playable, and it's surprisingly warm tone. It's not like deep and boomy, but there's enough low end to be there. But it shimmers all day.
Yeah. That's good. I didn't even talk about the model.
No.
855. What does it say in the tag there? Does it say Legacy? Yeah, 855E. So it's got the, and it's also got the LR Baggs pickup in there.
Yeah.
855E Legacy. New from Taylor. So this, and jumbo body, which they don't make anymore. I mean, they make a similar body shape, but this particular exact shape is.
So Rosewood.
I think the what do they call it? The Grand Orchestra is slightly different, but basically it's the same thing. Yeah, Rosewood, Indian Rosewood, mahogany neck, beautiful guitar.
Well, this is I'm a whiner. I'm kind of a wimp for 12 strings. Whoever plays this, even if you're not like a big 12 string person because you're intimidated like I am, I think you're going to want to spend some time with this guitar because it's very playable, very pleasant to listen to, and this is good. If I were to buy a 12 string, I had the resource. Of course, maybe I just have fancy taste at the 800 series level, but this would be one that I would strongly consider adding to the guitar arsenal.
Yep, I like it.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on. Check out some more of the Legacy models. 855E Legacy. By the way, X-Brace, they're doing them just like they used to. So available here at Music Villa. Check it out on our website, musicvilla.com. Come visit us in Bozeman. Quentin.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being here.
You bet.
Thank you.